Randall Howard Paul is an American physician and politician serving as the junior United States Senator from Kentucky since 2011. He is the son of former three-time presidential candidate and 12-term U.S. Representative of Texas, Ron Paul. Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Paul attended Baylor University and is a graduate of the Duke University School of Medicine. Paul began practicing ophthalmology in 1993 in Bowling Green, Kentucky. In 2003 he withdrew from the American Board of Ophthalmology and declared himself self-certified by his National Board of Ophthalmology. He continued working and established his own clinic in December 2007. In 2010, Paul entered politics by running for a seat in the United States Senate. A Republican, Paul has described himself as a constitutional conservative and a supporter of the Tea Party movement. Paul was a candidate for the Republican nomination at the 2016 U.S. presidential election. He suspended his campaign in February 2016, after finishing in fifth place during the Iowa caucuses. Though less than 2 months later he endorsed eventual Republican nominee and winner of the 2016 election Donald Trump. Randall Howard Paul was born on January 7, 1963, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Carol and Ron Paul, who is also a politician and physician. The elder Paul was a U.S. representative from Texas and ran for President of the United States 3 times. The middle child of 5. His siblings are Ronald, Ronnie, Paul Jr., Lori Paul Pete, Robert Paul, and Joy Paul LeBlanc. Paul was baptized in the Episcopal Church and identified as a practicing Christian as a teenager. Despite his father's libertarian views and strong support for individual rights, the novelist Ayn Rand was not the inspiration for his first name. Growing up, he went by Randy, but his wife shortened it to Rand. The Paul family moved to Lake Jackson, Texas, in 1968, where he was raised and where his father began a medical practice and for a period of time was the only obstetrician in Brazoria County. When Rand was 13, his father was elected to the United States House of Representatives. That same year, Paul attended the 1976 Republican National Convention, where his father headed Ronald Reagan's Texas delegation. The younger Paul often spent summer vacations interning in his father's congressional office. In his teenage years, Paul studied the Austrian economists that his father respected, as well as the writings of objectivist philosopher Ayn Rand. Paul went to Brassoswood High School and was on the swimming team and played defensive back on the football team. Paul attended Baylor University from fall 1981 to summer 1984 and was enrolled in the honors program. During the time he spent at Baylor, he was involved in the swim team and the Young Conservatives of Texas and was a member of a secret organization, the No-Zay Brotherhood, known for its irreverent humor. He regularly contributed to the Baylor Lariat student newspaper. Paul dropped out of Baylor without completing his baccalaureate degree. When he was accepted into his father's alma mater, the Duke University School of Medicine, which, at the time, did not require an undergraduate degree for admission to its graduate school. He earned an MD degree in 1988 and completed his residency in 1993. After completing his residency in ophthalmology, Paul moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where he has held a state-issued medical license since 1993. He received his first job from John Downing of Downing-McPeak Vision Centers. Paul worked for Downing for about 5 years before parting ways. Afterwards, he went to work at the Graves Gilbert Clinic, a private medical group in Bowling Green, for 10 years before creating his own practice in a converted one-story house across the street from Downing's office. After his election to the U.S. Senate, he merged his practice with Downing's medical practice. Paul has faced 2 malpractice lawsuits between 1993 and 2010. He was cleared in one case while the other was settled for $50,000. His medical work has been praised by Downing and he has medical privileges at 2 Bowling Green hospitals. In April 2020, after recovering from COVID-19, Paul began volunteering at a hospital in Bowling Green, assisting them in their response to the COVID-19 pandemic in Kentucky. Paul specializes in cataract and glaucoma surgeries, LASIK procedures, and corneal transplants. As a member of the Bowling Green Noon Lions Club, Paul founded the Southern Kentucky Lions Eye Clinic in 2009 to help provide eye surgery and exams for those who cannot afford to pay. Paul won the Melvin Jones Fellow Award for dedicated humanitarian services from the Lions Club International Foundation for his work establishing the Southern Kentucky Lions Eye Clinic. In 1995, Paul was certified to practice by the American Board of Ophthalmology. In 1992, the ABO changed its certification program, which had previously awarded lifetime certifications, now required ophthalm